It is the weekend. The last time we'll have multiple NFL games. I know, it's AFC and NFC championships. Welcome everyone. Andy and Jim are going to break down props and parlays for the two games. Just remember, you don't have to go crazy. There's only two games. You do not have to bet everything. We're going to give you some leans, and we're going to also tell you about where you can find our official plays at. So let's jump right into it. You guys know what to do. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, like seriously, come on. Help a brother out. Just
Help us out.
subscribe.
Come on.
Help us out. Subscribe
It's a
to the
click.
channel. Hit the like. It takes 1 second, and then leave a comment. Tell us what your best bet is. Tell us what the prop is. But as always, if you don't have a comment, a hot take, or anything, comment section. Word of the day is dog. Just type the word dog in there. DAWG counts as well.
Nice.
That will be accepted. So it helps the algorithm, helps boost our rankings on YouTube. So, all right, let's get right into it here. We'll start with touchdown scores in the Commanders and Eagles. The only one, I mean, listen, Saquon's an obvious one. Minus 125, not too bad on Jalen Hurts. You and I you've been doing great on this. The McLaurin and Ertz, just taking both of them at plus money, right?
Yes, set it and forget it at this point. Who else is getting touchdowns? It's just them.
They can't run the ball that well when they get in close. I mean, Jaden Daniels over 1.5 touchdown passes has been fantastic. You got to believe if they're going to score, it's probably one of those guys. I would bring up Dallas Goedert at 3-1. He's been very reliable. Just doesn't seem like AJ Brown and Hurts are on the same page. So Goddard might be one to look at. Bills and the Chiefs. Minus 120 on Josh Allen is pretty enticing, yes?
1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
I think you take Josh Allen and James Cook. Ray Davis with the snipe steal of a touchdown for the ages. Last week when James Cook.
Wait a minute. Who is that? Who's running?
It was so aggravating. I'm sure I was a James Cook anytime touchdown better, and it's like he's having a drive. It's great. He's like, I need a breather. What do? They run the ball. Oh, you're like, come on, really, right now? And then you just see Ray Davis for the rest of the game. So I just came in to hurt everybody. So yeah, I mean, I think Josh is going to use his legs, man. Buffalo, if they get within the 5, they're going to run Allen. They're going to run Cook. Hopefully, it's not Davis. What's the number on Dawson Knox?
Dawson Knox, 700. That's an interesting one.
The guy gets targets. He gets targets. Now, they might not equate to catches. They might not equate to touchdowns, but they have designed plays for him down at the goal line. We saw it 2 weeks ago when he was wide open in the end zone and Josh just missed him. And it's when the play breaks down. So if they're going to drop back and pass, that's where Josh is going to look. And I think this Chiefs secondary is a little bit more vulnerable there than it is on the outside with the wide receivers. So at plus 700, I mean, look, guys, these numbers are all way skewed. There's very small value on these at this point. So True. I don't hate anyone taking shots on some bigger numbers.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. So, I think you're about right on those. I mean, I guess Kelsey at plus money is kind of interesting. You know, it's go time for Kelsey, but those are the obvious plays. You didn't chime in for me to tell you that Travis Kelsey is a good football player in the playoffs. So, let's move to passing props for the Commanders and the Eagles. The one that I like is Jaden in DraftKings, man.
Yep.
Changing up the categories. There's pass yards. I like where is the damn completions? I like Jaden over 21.5. Take out the Dallas game. He's gone over an 8 straight. I mean, he's borderline. He's like getting 22, 23. It's not like he's completing 30, but if they're in catch-up mode, they're going to throw. They struggle to run the ball. Eagles are pretty good against the run. And, I mean, the Eagles have a good, solid defense. This is going to be easy, but Jaden Daniels went over both games against Philly. So I would say that's kind of my favorite passing prop in this game. What do you think?
I definitely like that one. Of this game, that's probably the best passing bet you can get on the board. I want nothing to do with Jalen Hurts from a passing perspective.
Sure.
He's just been an absolute mess.
Yeah.
The offense has been a mess. So I don't think there's really any value there passing wise. I want to look at this again. What teams we think are going to be winning. Where I stand is I think that Philly wins this game. There is no tomorrow. So the interception market, there's more value in the interceptions than there normally would be, in my opinion. So if we believe that they are going to be out front and Washington has a chance to win, if it's garbage time, you might get that Hail Mary, like we said at halftime. If they're on the 50, you get that Hail Mary interception. So I believe that Philly's going to be up. So I would be interested in Daniels for the interception. And I would be interested in Josh Allen for an interception here at -114.
Okay.
It's in Arrowhead. And we're going to see the punt. You bring this up all the time. The Josh Allen 3rd and 15 punt. Just throw it 50 yards and hope they catch it.
Yeah, throw it 50 yards. Like if they intercept it and they're down right there, it's as good as a punt. But you give yourself a chance on pass interference. Give yourself a chance to get a catch. If it's incomplete, no biggie. So yeah, I like that, the Josh Allen punt. I like Mahomes to not throw an interception. One interception in the last 8 postseason games, which is just like, I don't know. There is just something very, very different in the playoffs where it's like interceptions in the regular season aren't going to kill you. A bad interception in the postseason can literally be the difference between going to the Super Bowl and not going to the Super Bowl. And Patrick Mahomes just does not make the stupid mistake. He takes off and runs. He would take a sack before he throws a bad one. Like it would have to be an amazing defensive play, a tip ball or something. He's just not going to make that terrible play. He just doesn't do it. So, and like it was in the Super Bowl. Like it wasn't even game, to advance in the playoffs. It was the last game of the entire season. So, Mahomes and Allen's. I have no opinion on passing touchdowns, yards, anything like that. So, we'll move on to receiving props here. I mean, I think McLaurin at 62.5 is a little bit low, but I guess one of the weird things is this going to be that hard for Philly to take away McLaurin? I mean,
I don't think so.
I'm almost leaning more towards Ertz at 32.5. I think he might be the play.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Zacchaeus isn't scaring anybody. Crowder's not scaring anybody. Like if you're trying to slow down the passing attack, you got to just take away McLaurin. So I would just be selling out to stop him, letting that leave Zach Ertz open. So that's kind of where I would be leaning in this one, but certainly not a big time, super confident play. So what do you think?
I agree with you with Terry. He's reliant on the big play to get over this total. I don't think there's going to be a whole ton of volume going his way. I would much rather Ertz at 32.5. Saquon Barkley, 13.5.
Okay.
I think it's very evident that if the Eagles are going to win a Super Bowl, it's going to be on the back of Saquon Barkley. And that could be obviously in the running game, but it also is going to be in the passing game. So they're using him in the passing game. They're going to get him as many touches as they possibly can. 13.5 is a very low number. That can be gotten on one play with Saquon Barkley and go way over. So yeah, that's the only receiving prop that I landed on.
Okay.
It was actually Saquon's over receiving yards. That was it.
It's a tough one. I mean, AJ Brown, I almost want to take the under, but he's one play away. They haven't connected on that big play. It just feels like they're due for that. So receptions wise, Goddard at 3.5 is a little bit juicy, but he's caught 4 passes in his 3 games. Devontae Smith, darn it, they bumped it up to 4.5. If you think he has a big game, but Hurts just isn't completing a lot of passes. And if Barkley gets going and they get a lead, there's just not going to be enough. There's not going to be pass attempts. It's just going to be long, sustained drives without a lot of volume. So
he just doesn't look right. He just doesn't. He's hurt. I think he's hurt more than they're letting on.
Who is that?
Hurts.
Well, yeah, he's always
like the concussion is one thing, but he is.
Yeah, they already said he's probably gonna be wearing a brace.
He's getting up real slow after every time he's on the ground. Real slow.
Yep. Bills and the Chiefs. We liking anything here?
I lost it last week, but I'm going back to Dawson Knox 1.5 receptions personally. I'm going back to that. He had the targets, just didn't have the receptions.
Okay.
So, he still got over 2 targets in that game. So I have to go back to it again. It's been a great moneymaker over the past couple of weeks. Then just keep riding it as far as that goes. Boy, wild that James Cook 1.5 receptions. First of all, the juice is insane.
Yeah.
And the run that like, can we get a Ty Johnson prop, please? Come on,
I know.
DraftKings.
I know.
This is
I
the
know.
playoffs here. Can we get everybody? Because Ty Johnson's taken over the receiving role. So I just wanted to point out I do not like James Cook 1.5 receptions this week. I think the number's out of control, and he has not gotten the run. If anything, I would rather take the shot at plus 151 on the under on this.
I love it. I
Because I
love
think
that.
they're going to be saving James for the running game. It's all Ty Johnson in the receiving game.
Could go back to Noah Gray. I may go back to Samaje P. Ryan at 8.5. I don't think he had a catch last week, but again, tried and true. He's not going to get a catch every single game. Whenever he's out there, they target him, and you only need one catch at this number. So that's how I would be looking at that. But I think Kelsey's the square play of the 70.5, though. Does feel a little bit low, but it's playoff time. I'm not taking it under on Travis Kelsey. I think the 50.5 is a little bit low on Worthy. Again, one kind of deep ball and he gets there. But again, they haven't connected on a lot of these. So and poor one out for DeAndre Hopkins, who looks like he's on his last leg. Whew, poor guy. All right, rushing props. 128.
We're going to say the same thing we said last week. The number's way too high, but I'm still not taking an under on it.
I mean, come on. 128.
I'm not taking an under on it.
I even with wearing the knee brace, give me Hurts over his. It's a trip to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That he will be numbed up. Somebody brought up a good thing. Like, did you notice how laughable, how giddy and just like a school child Hurts was in the post game press conference? Like, what did they give him?
Yeah,
for his, he was laughing. Like,
this is great.
Yeah, exactly. He just takes off and runs. I think he gets 8-9 rushes. He's another guy that doesn't throw an interception. He'll throw the ball away or he'll just take off and run. And if that middle of the field opens up, I could absolutely see a 15-yard run. And now you don't need that many. Potential trip to the Super Bowl, you're not playing it safe. So I would still go to Hurts over his rushing yards. So Jaden Daniels over 55.5 or under 55.5. It seems like a ton, but man, I could see in the game late in the fourth quarter, like hurry up drill at the end of the half for the.
Yeah.
I would like to take the under because I think they keep him bottled up. They would prefer him to be a passer and not get those scramble first downs, but I can't take an under on it. And I mean, seriously, look at the difference in starting running backs. Saquon Barkley, 128.5. Brian Robinson Jr., 36.5. I almost want to take the over because that seems laughable.
On principle, yeah.
It's just on sheer principle that a starting running back is at 36.5. So, Bills and Chiefs, any rushing props you like in this one? Again, Pacheco, 30.5. Kareem Hunt, 36.5. These are just gross.
The numbers are way. I think it's a reflection on the defenses. We have two really good defenses coming into this game and two very evenly matched teams. I wouldn't hate going back to Worthy. It's lower than it was last week, 3.5. We had the curse of the first carry being -8 yards. So at that point, you're kind of done unless he gets a massive workload in the run game. But
yeah, right.
I think Andy Reid is smart enough to know that they're going to have to run the ball in some form or fashion. So you're not going to get it done with Pacheco and Hunt, who obviously are not 100% and beat up and worn out. So the big plays have to come from Worthy. Ray Davis's number is low. We have the Ray Davis killer here again. They are getting him some workload, but that is a really, really low number. And if there's any kind of an issue with James Cook, turf toe, he's cramping up, whatever.
I'm tired.
Yeah, tired at the 5. Ray Davis will be the one coming in and getting the run here. So that number is pretty crazy low. I love taking these real low numbers when everybody wants to bet, Kelsey for 2 touchdowns. I'll go the other way.
I'll just bring up Josh Allen over 9.5 rush attempts. He's gone over in every single game that he's played the Chiefs. every single game that he's played the Chiefs in his career, he's gone over. Now he's not flying over, but he's getting 10, 11. So if you believe in streaks and you believe in trends, that one needs to be brought up here. Looking at field goals, I kind of like the Jake Elliott. You're getting plus money at 2. He's been really good. If Hurts is banged up, I don't know. Maybe you get a couple drives that stall inside. I don't think the weather's going to be that bad. He's been really accurate. He's gone over both games against the Commanders, and if the Eagles are up, 10 points or something, then yeah, you might just kick the field goal. We don't need to go for it on fourth down. It is kind of amazing that he's gone over so many times in a row with the tush push. So and I think that goes to like it's got to be like 4th and 4, 4th and 3, or farther back, and it kind of has been. I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about how was it last week the Eagles were 1 for 11 for fourth down and like 5 and more. So or a 3rd and 5 and more. So they haven't been converting those longer third downs. So other than that, you could talk me into Harrison Butker. I don't know. You could talk me into any of these guys. I think you could talk me into any of these guys except Tyler Bass, because I don't think the Bills are going to settle for field goals. It's going to have to be a really long fourth down. I think they know what they're up against, and we saw them ice. We've seen them ice games this season by going for it and going for the touchdown and not trying to kick the field goal and play it safe. So I think if it's anything even remotely close that they think they can get it, they know if they're going into Arrowhead to beat Mahomes and Reed, you got to walk away with 7. So I might actually lean the under on Tyler Bass. That being said, he'll go for 4 for 4.
That's the one, though. You're right, though. I would be concerned about Tyler Bass. I think the rest of these guys have a great shot of going over too. So you have 2 of them at plus money, one at minus 115. There's a lot worse plays you could have odds-wise than that. Just run with them.
Yeah, if I did Elliott, Gonzalez, and Butker, I bet 2 of these hit. You walk away with it with a 2 and 1. So my single favorite would be Jake Elliott, but I would look at Butker, Gonzalez, and Elliott. So do anything with sack props or not really?
I did want to just touch on it real quick, and
Sure.
We'll go to the Eagles game here. And I know that the Commanders defense isn't some giant pass rushing juggernaut, but I'll say it again, broken record. Jalen Hurts looks a little bit lost. And to what Andy said, he doesn't throw interceptions. It's take off and run. Well, if he gets tackled behind the line, it's a sack. Now the question is, who do you play?
Yeah.
Because the Commanders don't really have that guy, right? You could go Frankie Louvu at 189. Check your books and see if there's a team prop. Maybe Commanders over 2.5 sacks would be interesting. I don't think you can really play a side. Jalen Carter has a chance to have a big game, and it's reflective in his number. Commanders are missing an offensive lineman. He has really shown up over the past couple weeks to be an absolute game wrecker. Him and Nolan Smith off the edge. Really, really great young pass rusher. So very, very interesting in them. As far as the Chiefs and the Bills game goes, I mean, pick your poison with these 2 quarterbacks. You have 2 quarterbacks that are mobile, that get rid of the ball, that tuck and run. I would be very hesitant to have any bets here that are sub plus 200.
Okay.
You have to get extreme value in the line to take any of these, in my opinion, because these quarterbacks are so good at getting rid of the ball and getting runs.
Yeah. All right. I don't think there's any other props. I tried to look at some same game parlays, couldn't really come up with anything. The only thing I was looking at was potentially doing something. So I'm an Eagles believer. I think they're going to win. So I was starting off with just the Eagles. Taking if where's Barkley? Taking him just to get 100 plus. That gets you to minus 175, and then I would go to the team totals here and just take the Eagles to get like over 17 and a half. We'll make it 19 and a half. That gets you to minus 150. That's about it. It's not too bad, but again,
if you're looking for a shot in the dark, you go the Ertz McLaurin anytime TD parlay.
Oh, that's a great one.
Just hit 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. What if we? You know what? This is a great one. Let's do the Eagles money line and throw in Terry McLaurin and Zachary. It's a 16
There's
to
your shot
1.
in the dark.
There's your Hail Mary
If you
shot.
like Jalen for 2 passing touchdowns, this has a real good shot of hitting here.
Yeah, yeah. If you like Jade Daniels, absolutely. So yeah, that is it for those. So go to our yeah. You got
Who's your
something
pick
else?
for KC? I agree with you. I'm on the Eagles.
I'm never going to bet against Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
and Andy Reid at home in the playoffs. I'm just not going to. If it loses this week, fine. I'll just wait till next year and just keep playing him. So you're never going to get me to bet against him. I like I said, the Bills may win. Great. Be happy for them, but from a betting wise, I've just seen them close the door on too many people and too many good teams, especially at home. So that's my pick.
Pulling for Buffalo. I'm pulling for Buffalo. I think they got a tall task against him. It's kind of that thing like as a Jet fan where it's like, you can beat up your younger brother, but if somebody else beats up your younger brother,
Yeah,
like I'd rather my big brother who beats me up go at least win the Super Bowl so I can say we lose into a Super Bowl champion.
I love it. I love it. That's great. Yeah, I would do. I mean, it's as square as it gets. Eagles and Chiefs.
It is.
There you go. There's your square play of the day. Nothing like NFL money line parlays.
Mhm.
Books love me. I should actually put that in. Mess up the algorithm on my DraftKings account. So, so guys are looking at our official plays. We bet with our own money. Go to our page at wagertalk.com. We've got our playoff props pack up. Playoffs have been fantastic for us. 6-2 last 2 weeks, 4 straight profitable weeks in the NFL. The start of the season was terrible, and we're peaking at the right time. It's nice to be on a really good winning streak. So go grab that. We've got a couple props up there. Like I said, 6-2 in the playoffs is really, really solid. So really happy with what we're doing. We're plus 12 units this week. So seeing the board really, really well. Take advantage of that. And if you're interested in a 7-day pass, go grab that. It's only $11 per day. So you're getting a really good discount on that. You're going to get all of our NFL plays, NBA, NHL, any golf plays that we have. We have UFC coming up. We have PFL on Saturday if you're watching this on Saturday. So it's a great time to jump on board. This time of year is weird because no more college football, no more NFL, and this is kind of where we do a lot of damage. This is where it gets exciting for us. Sports like darts and tennis and some of these other ones that are off the radar. Auto racing, Formula One is coming up soon. Like this is where we start licking our chops, where we bring in units on sports that nobody else is doing. So way to take advantage of that. Get a 7-day pass for only $11 a day. So all right, that's going to do it for us, guys. Good luck on your place, and we'll see everyone later.
Good luck, guys.